Human behavior flows from three main sources: desire, emotion, and knowledge. If a man neglects education, he limps through life. Knowledge is the food of the soul. The direction in which education starts a person will determine their future in life. The most important part of education is proper training in the nursery. We should value the greatest importance in ensuring that the first stories heard by children are perfectly suited to promote virtue. All the gold beneath the earth is not enough to exchange for virtue. Virtue involves action and is pertinent to each of us in everything we do. Good people do not need laws to tell them to act responsibly, while bad people will find a way around the laws. Wisdom alone is the science of other sciences. For a man, conquering himself is the first and noblest victory. Goodness is beauty. Wonder is the feeling of the philosopher, and philosophy begins in wonder. When the mind is thinking, it is talking to itself. Opinion is the medium between knowledge and ignorance. The measure of a man is what he does with power. The beginning is the most important part of the work. He who wishes to serve his country must not only have the ability to think, but also the will to act. Knowledge is true opinion. A hero is born among 100. A wise man is found among 1,000. But an accomplished man may not be found even among 100,000. The first and greatest victory is to conquer yourself. To be conquered by yourself is the most shameful and vile thing. Apply yourself now and in the next life. Without effort, you cannot prosper. Though the soil be good, you cannot have an abundant crop without cultivation. No one is a friend to one who knows no return of affection. When someone speaks ill of you, live in such a way that no one believes them. Thinking is the soul's self-examination. Science is nothing but perception. Parents bequeath to their children not riches, but reverence. At the touch of love, everyone becomes a poet. Music is the movement of sound to reach the soul for the education of its virtue. Music is a moral law. It gives soul to the universe, wings to the mind, flight to the imagination, and charm and gaiety to life and to everything. Every heart sings a song, incomplete, until another heart whispers back. Those who wish to sing will always find a song. At the touch of a lover, everyone becomes a poet. We can easily forgive a child who is afraid of the dark. The real tragedy of life is when men are afraid of the light. This city is what it is because our citizens are what they are. Ignorance is the root and stem of all evil. Knowledge becomes evil if the aim be not virtuous. Necessity is the mother of invention. Love is the joy of the good, the wonder of the wise, the amazement of the gods. Good actions give strength to ourselves and inspire good actions in others. Astronomy compels the soul to look upward and leads us from this world to another. As they say twice and thrice over, good is it to repeat and review what is good. Any man may easily harm another, but not every man can do good to another. He who is not a good servant will not be a good master. As builders say, the larger stones do not lie well without the lesser. Life must be lived as play. Philosophy is the highest music. Courage is knowing what not to fear. An empty vessel makes the loudest sound. A good decision is based on knowledge, not numbers. The wealthiest man is the one content with the least. There are three classes of men: lovers of wisdom, lovers of honor, and lovers of gain. The wrongdoer is more unfortunate than the wronged. Man, a being in search of meaning. Justice in life and conduct of the state can be achieved only when first it resides in the hearts and souls of the citizens. A transaction slightly better but well done is better than a great transaction that is left unfinished. Rhetoric is the art of ruling the minds of men. Knowledge acquired under compulsion has no hold on the mind. There is no harm in repeating a good thing. No law or ordinance is mightier than understanding. Poetry is nearer to vital truth than history. Whatever deceives men seems to produce a magical enchantment. The petty thief and the grand thief both have the same desire, only the impact differs. I have never known a mathematician who could reason. No evil can happen to a good man, either in life or after death. Poets utter great and wise things, which they themselves do not understand. There must always be something antagonistic to the good. There is no such thing as a lover's oath. Justice means minding your own business and not meddling with other men's concerns. We do not learn, and what we call learning is only a process of recollection. Knowledge without justice should be called cunning rather than wisdom. Truth is the beginning of every good thing, both in heaven and on earth. Cunning is only the imitation of wisdom. When there is income tax, the just man will pay more and the unjust less on the same amount of income. Liking bad over good is not in human nature, and when one is compelled to choose between two evils, no one chooses the worse when they can choose the lesser. A community neither poor nor rich will always have the noblest principles. I never did anything worth doing by accident, nor did any of my inventions come by accident. They came by work. Everything will be produced in superior quantity and quality, and with greater ease, when each man works at a single occupation, in accordance with his natural gifts, and at the right moment, without meddling with anything else. I am the wisest man alive, for I know one thing, and that is that I know nothing. According to Greek mythology, humans were originally created with 4 arms, 4 legs, and a head with 2 faces. Fearing their power, Zeus split them into 2 separate parts, condemning them to spend their lives searching for their other halves. There is one victory and defeat. The first and best victory, the lowest and worst defeat, which each man achieves or suffers not at the hands of another, but at his own. A calm and cheerful man will feel little pressure from age, but for a person of opposite character, youth and age will be equally burdensome. The knowledge we have is but little compared to what we do not know. The eyes of the soul of the multitude cannot endure the vision of the divine. The excess of anything causes a reaction in the opposite direction. A person cannot practice many arts successfully. Right love is educated and disciplined love for what is orderly and beautiful. Not only an old man, but a drunkard becomes a child again. Those who aim to be great must not love themselves or their possessions, but only what is just, whether it happens by themselves or others. Excess generally causes a reaction, creating a change in the opposite direction, whether in seasons, individuals, or governments. Serving the gods is the capacity to endure what humans cannot. Wealth is well known as a great comfort. A common saying is that life is but a journey. If particulars are to have meaning, there must be universals. A state arises out of the needs of mankind. No one is self-sufficient, but we all have many wants. No one teaches well who wants to teach, nor governs well who wants to govern. Our aim in founding the state is the greatest happiness of the whole, not that of any one class. There are 2 things a person should never be angry at: what they can help and what they cannot. The one who does everything to make happiness depend on themselves and not on others has adopted the best plan for living happily. This is the self-sufficient person, the person of character and wisdom. To be sure, I must, and thus I may assume that your silence gives consent. A library of wisdom is more precious than all wealth, and all things desirable cannot compare with it. So anyone who claims to have a passion for truth, happiness, knowledge, or wisdom must become a lover of books. The blame is his who chooses. God is blameless.